Hi everybody, I'm Go VR Go Home. I want to welcome you back to my layout. We are doing a layout update and overview for the month of May. I've been busy this last month and I'm going to take you around, show you all the stuff that I've worked on, everything that's new, and I'm going to show you how we got there. All right, let's start on the bottom part of the layout over on this side. So you'll notice here that there's a bit more scenery. I've got the fascia up and it's painted, and I also filled in the land with both plaster and plaster cloth, and I painted some of the wall, just not all of it. There's still a bit more work that has to go into this before it's finalized. And of course, I have to finish putting ballast going around too. But this is basically the point to which I got up to. It actually got all filled in over here as well. So where I basically left off last was where that ballast stops. So I had to fill in all this hill and the slope going down and all this area here, which was not pretty to look at, but we got it done. It'll look a lot better as well once there's some graffiti on the wall and maybe some bushes along there just to kind of tidy up that edging. I'm glad this area isn't as messy as it normally is. I have some plans in place to get track down and some buildings so that I can really fill out this area and put it to use. I have a whole bunch of gondolas that are just kind of sitting around the layout right now that are waiting for their forever home. So hopefully I can work on this next month and get the building put in place and the track down. Not too much has been done over here, as these are more of the finished areas. Not completely, I'd still like to add some more, but it's great to do run-by shots and whatnot and actually have, some scenery and some buildings, and the building lights up. A lot of this is also Walther's kits. This is my beaver lumber area here, where I have some center beam cars that will pick up or drop off lumber, and I will also be able to send wood chip cars here just for cleanup service. I currently have a lot of issues with this bridge in particular, and even though it's not permanently put in place, I still have a bit of work to do on it. So hopefully I can finalize something, get the land done in and around it, because I haven't touched it in a while. So hopefully next month I'll be able to fix this, and that way it's going to be a little bit more seamless when the trains go onto the bridge or exit it. Trying to keep my layout tidy and organized is becoming a bit of an issue. Well, it's always been an issue, but more so since I got rid of my display case. I ended up giving my glass display case to my oldest son, as he has a lot of really cool Lego projects that he's working on. And to be honest, I needed something a little bit bigger. But unfortunately, with low stock levels at IKEA and things selling out really quick, I haven't been able to scoop up a new one yet. Hopefully within the next couple of months, so I can get these locomotives back on display, back off the layout, so that they're all just not sitting around collecting dust. Alexis wanted to remind me that I did receive a package today, so I'm definitely going to be opening that up once this is done. Up here on the second level, you'll see not too much in this area here has been done. Again, this is a more finalized area where I'll add little bits and pieces here and there. But overall, I've just been happy with how it looks, and it's given me a bit of storage for some of these cars that I might not use all the time. This is the North Bay area. but when we pan over towards the station, you're going to notice an extremely long train of ore cars. So first off, I got about 18 cars from Otter Valley. They had 2 of the 6 car sets for O&R in the long, and then they also did a special run, which included another 6 Ontario Northland long barrel ore cars. So last month, yeah, I got all 3 packs. Now you'll notice a couple extra ones here. These were the ones that I had built that Brendan, Bub031, had given to me, as he felt that he didn't need them for his layout, so he just gave them to me. I had built at least 8 of them so far, and there's 2 more that are still in the works, but I was able to hand him the 8 of them the other day because he said he wanted to paint them, weather them, and decal them. Kind of thankful he asked me to do that. I already had enough problems putting them together. But yeah, so there's going to be 10 of the small barrel ore cars that will be in my train altogether, making a grand total of 31 barrel ore cars altogether, which is roughly the size that you would want. 30 to 40, maybe 45 cars max. It just has to be a decent sized train. And to be honest, I still have some that are still in the box. They wrap literally all the way down to that O&R caboose there. And that was already painful enough trying to unbox everything. But I did it, and yeah, I'm very excited to run these on the layout. If you happen to catch Keeping Track last month, you'll have seen me working on this entire section here, including the graffiti on the bridge, weathering, and you'll have caught some of the work that I did in this area. It's looking a lot better and a lot greener. I'm very excited about this section as it'll make for some great photo opportunities. But I still have lots more to do with it. Still on the second level here, just off the main line, this is a branch line that comes off just under the bridge that I just showed you. And this is going to be the Pillsbury factory here. And you'll notice that last month, this was wide open. I got some of the same stuff I used for fascia, just the hardboard or masonite, and I was able to put it up as a backdrop for this section, completely cutting it off from the rest of the layout. As I pan this way, you'll notice that that's where it stops, and it goes back into another scene. I'll be tying this all together with scenery and possibly relocating that bakery that I have there and putting another industry in that spot. But just for now, it's sitting there, and this is the new home of the Pillsbury factory. When we come out on this side of the underpass, you'll see where I spent a majority of the month. When we cross over that little bridge there, you'll notice that this entire section here, this almost gorge, was just pink foam and cardboard at one point. Well, I finished doing the cardboard strips, and it took about 3 rolls of plaster cloth, but I filled this entire section in, and I even did that back section on the other side of the road. I came all the way down this way towards this road, and I filled all this in as well. I painted all of it brown, except for the road. And I even added some Sculptamold down in the bottom there, just to kind of give it a better shape, opposed to the kind of bowl finish. It looked too much like a bowl, and I really wanted to give it more of a rougher water side edging to it. So I did put some plaster, like a drywall compound, over the road, and then I sanded that down. I put asphalt coloring from Woodland Scenics down over that, and then I did sand it down a bit so it wasn't so dark of a color. I'm not sure if it's as easy to see, but I still got to do some weathering to it And yeah, I did add the greenery. I also have to do some ballast along the road to add like a rocky kind of rough siding to it. And I'm gonna have to go back over and paint the over the brown again there where the water edge is. And then once I get my Woodland Scenics water effects, I'll be able to do that entire lake section there. Here's another view of that road and the crossing. And I even filled this entire area in here with Sculptamold, painted it, and then yeah, I used the flocking over top of that. That's not final. I do like to use static grass, so I'll be going over that entire area with static grass after. Over in the paper mill here, haven't done too much work, but as you can see, I'm getting closer to working on the entrance to it, and then I'm gonna work from left to right, about 4 feet at a time, 8 feet total, 9 feet maybe, and I'm gonna get all that done. Also, I do have the fascia that's gonna go right around here, and it's gonna complete this entire edge section. But I wanted to get all this done first and all the inside closest to the backdrop done before I restrict how far I can actually reach. I also plan on adding some telephone poles and a guardrail so that cars don't go flying off into the water. But that's a project for maybe next month. All right, so you guys remember back on April Fool's Day when I told you that I was taking apart my layout? Well, it wasn't to take the whole thing down. It was literally just to split the 2 tracks. I got rid of a switch that was just after this metal bridge here. And to give you more of an accurate sizing as to what I was working with at the time, I had 2 tracks that started right there, and they would go around over to the switches that are right up here. Basically, that gives me about 10 feet for each track as a siding. That personally was not ideal. So after I split the tracks, which basically means I cut it right there, got rid of the switch, and push the second track over, you can kind of see the bridge that's going across there, the second one, and it goes all the way around and down to about here. That's right. And that gives me about 21 feet for each of those tracks. I'll open the mail in a minute. She's rushing me. So basically, this was the biggest part of my entire month, was basically building this and getting the bridge in place and completely building a second line for my layout. Here you can see we're on the other side of the bridge now. This is the new bridge, which is a 90-foot Walther's bridge in the middle and a 50-foot bridge on each side with the Walther's abutments and piers. Just adding this section alone was about $150. It's kind of an expensive change, but it was something I felt needed to happen in order to have a very decent runaround. And technically, it'll get a lot more uses than just as a siding. But before I could really put it in its place, because of the style it is, in order for me to use it, I have to remove all the ties off of the rails from the start of the bridge to the end of the bridge. And then I had to glue the rails to the actual bridge. Now that meant basically doing all the scenery underneath, because I won't be able to take that off after. So I put foam on both sides, and I built up the land going into a slope. Then, after cutting it down so that it would, make a hill shape, I used some Sculptamold, fixing all the little imperfections and making it tight up against the abutments. Then, I painted it all brown. And then I did the grass. As you can see, there's some greenery there to it. And then I mixed up my own concoction of ballast to just go under the bridge. That's all glued in place now. But I'm very happy with how it turned out, despite the fact that it's not even anywhere near done yet. I'm excited to add the water, but there's still a little bit that I have to do before that can be done. However, I was able to get the bridge in place, and I can go right over it with a train. And I mean, I had to make a couple of modifications, but things worked out, and I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so you found my mess. It was only a matter of time before you found it. But yeah, there's always going to be a dumping ground, I guess. Not always the neatest, but at the same time, it's all part of the experience, So I didn't get a second set of risers. I had a piece of a riser, which I put coming off the bridge, as you can see right here. But it was only about 5 or 6 inches long. So then I just used some foam and I attached it with hot glue, paralleling, if that's even a word, with the actual current riser that's in the front. So that way I was keeping an accurate angle for going down the grade, and both the tracks would run side by side. Mind you, one of them, the inside one, if I can show you here, does go a bit wider when it gets closer to the bridge, just because of the distance I did put from that. It comes in, and then they both connect to a number 8 Pico right here. And yeah, it works. I'm very, very happy that it works, obviously. And I still have a lot of testing to do, but things are really working out, and I couldn't be happier. Sometimes it pays to not use the computer, and you just, you trace it out and you do your own math and whatnot, and you just see what works. And if not, you change it. Now, this track here, the outside track, it ends right at the bridge. It ends right there. So I still have to continue it around. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, where I basically link it up with that number 6 that's right there. I just have to create a little shelf for the track to sit on. I'll add some supports, and then I'll continue on that second track. Before I do my unboxing mail call, I'm going to run a train here for you, just so you can see it running. Okay, so now that we're done with the layout update and I've shown you everything that I've done this past month, I've got a package here, and I feel like I've been waiting for this forever, but yeah, we're gonna crack this open. We're gonna take a look. It is from Otter Valley, and Lauren and the gang sent this out, and I know it's in here. I'm excited to see what's in here. So we're gonna take a look and crack that open. What? They always do a great job of packing. Neat. All right. So whatever it is, it's DCC and sound. That's always good with me. What do we have? So, I guess I should have started the other way, except for the fact that my address is on the other side, so I didn't really want to, but either way. These are snug. Okay, here we go. So we've got one F59 PH Go Transit, and this is the 557, which is the late version. Very nice. Like I said, DCC and sound. We've got this one here, which is another Rapido Trains GMD F59 PH Go Transit. This is 559, which is another late version of this model. Needless to say, you're going to be seeing a review real soon. We also have the HO scale GMD F59 PH Go Transit number 527, and this is in the experimental test scheme. Very nice, so a very unique logo. I'm pretty sure this is from 99. Yeah, this was a must-have. Got some more stuff. Whoop. We've got a Walther's Proto, and this is a well car TTX DTTX, and there's the number. I needed a camera car, so this is going to be my camera car. Hopefully it works. I tried a well car at the club and it fit the camera no problem. So I'll be able to use this and maybe do a layout tour with the cab, you know, so you'll get cab view. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We'll try that out this Wednesday. And more bubble wrap. Always save your bubble wrap, because you never know when you're going to be sending a package, and it's good to recycle it. And we've got one more. We've got an F59 PH. This is number 4. And this is the 535, and this is in the delivery scheme. So this is the early. I technically classify the one from 99 still a bit of an early scheme as well, because, you know, after this is when you went to this, so not too much of a difference, but yeah, I'm planning on building a quite the Go Transit roster, I guess you could say, especially with the fact that Rapido are doing all of these now. So now I did pay for 3 of these, and one of these my wife, I'm gonna say the 559. I think the 559 is the one that she got me. So this was like obviously super early because it's May and Father's Day is near the end of June, but this was a Father's Day present from my wife to me, or I guess from my kids to me, whatever you want to say. I don't think that they make that kind of money, but you know, whatever. But still appreciate it. So shout out to my wife and my kids, and really appreciate that. And of course, they, you know, have an awesome day. The receipts in here, business card. I usually get the metal thingy, but I think I've got a bunch of those, so I just told them don't send me anymore because I've got way too many of those. But yeah, they're always good about that, and they always say thank you for shopping at Otter Valley, and I have no problem doing that. I have no problem shopping at Otter Valley. So. What's that say? Warning: opening this package will cause extreme happiness. You have no idea, sticker. Alright, so like I said, watch out for a review, full unboxing and whatnot of the F59PH locomotive. That'll be coming out real soon. And I'll be doing a live on Wednesday, so that I can run some trains. I'm gonna hold off on the running of these until after the video for the review comes out. So maybe next week, next Wednesday, I'll be running some of these live. I'm really excited to get the cars to go with them, but they won't be here for another couple of months. So you'll see some train running with complete sets around that time. But for now, I can at least, like, I think I might have one Athearn left. So, I mean, not like it's gonna be great, but I'll run the one car, I guess, or some Via cars. I didn't get the Lisa unit. I kind of feel like I should, but maybe later. I think 4 is good for now, and then we'll try something like that later. I'm sure they'll stick around. Usually the Go Transit units don't sell too quick, but these ones are really nice. So, but anyways, watch for a review. I did the May layout update, so come back next month and you can check out to see even more progress, because I'm working on this thing every single day. And stick around, because we've got more keeping track. We've got the Sunday brunch kit builds. We've got running trains live on Wednesdays. You name it. We're going strong in May, and we've got lots of content for you guys. So thank you so much to all the GVO members and the GVO crew. And we'll see you real soon.